Hey everybody, this is the Aggressively Medium podcast with Lee and Josh.
This is Aggressively Medium podcast live update. Donald Trump has COVID and no one cares.
And nor should they.
No.
Because he's fine.
Well, that plus, honestly, that debate the other day
I wish they'd both get it.
was a crap
We can
show.
just start over.
That was, I mean, I haven't seen, well, I have seen one thing from somebody that is a Democrat that they were bashing Trump. But other than that, everybody else that I've seen has said it was.
Somebody on the left doesn't like Trump?
Yeah, but so most of what I've seen is people from both sides going, that sucked. That was horrible. Why did I even watch that? I watched an hour of it.
I got 30 minutes of it, I think.
I couldn't do more than an hour.
I had secondhand embarrassment.
All they were doing was just sitting there bickering back and
If
forth.
I wanted to do that, I'd just listen to me and Ann and the baby arguing about toys and stuff.
Well, to me, it was like the Muppets. Remember the two old men sitting up in the...
Yeah, absolutely.
It was those two old men would just... couldn't tell when the other one was talking. Yeah. They just were talking over each other. Got nothing to come. Nobody figured out who they were voting for after that debate.
But in defense of this... No, not defense. Well, I guess in defense of the two, the system's stupid. Because if me and you were sitting here and I said, Josh, explain to me your thoughts on healthcare in 120 seconds.
Yeah.
And I was just quiet the whole time. I'm not going to hear what your point, like, you got 2 minutes to explain something in detail to me.
Oh, yeah.
That's really complicated.
Yeah, that's true.
Let me hear your nuance in 2 minutes.
But then you get like 15-minute just free-for-all or whatever.
I didn't get that far in, I don't think. Or was that at the beginning? I missed the beginning, and I caught 30 minutes of the middle of it.
So it was like 2 minutes of both sides, and then it was open debate for 15 minutes. And so you could debate back and forth for 15 minutes.
Garbage.
Either way, completely dumb, embarrassment. Yeah. I'm not on the fence. I'm voting for Trump.
Right.
But at the same time, I was like, this is just embarrassing.
Yeah.
And the whole world's watching too. Well, people from around the world are watching.
No, they're watching for sure, but like, you think I give a rip what somebody in Mongolia thinks?
No, but as far as like pride in our country, that made it look horrible.
That's been gone.
That was horrible.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're gonna have another debate. I probably won't watch. Oh, so they actually did come out with new rules for the next debate, which there will be muted mics.
Good.
If you start talking over the other person, they're gonna mute your mic, which they should. They should have. I don't know why that's been.
They don't even have to be in the same room. Why should they? They don't even have to be in the same building to do it. To do it like.
Well, and so Trump's got 14 days of quarantine at this point, and so it's October the 1st. We're gonna have a short time frame for the other few debates, but I really don't care because I'm not going to watch them.
No. And again, somebody a little while ago had a funny point. Are there people on the fence right now? I feel like everybody's pretty much decided.
Yeah, but even if you weren't decided, you didn't decide the other night.
And it's just unless you live in the woods, and you listen to that for the first time, I was like, oh, he thinks that, and the other guy thinks the other.
Yeah.
Oh, well, now I gotta
if you could have figured out what either one of them's platform was from that debate, more kudos to you because
if you could decipher that gibberish,
that was ridiculous.
Insulting each other. Granted, that's what it's a good representation of the country. Yeah. As far as sides arguing about stuff.
That's true.
It pretty much turns into an insult game.
Yeah. That's all it was just Trump was trying to get Biden riled up so that Biden would screw his words up.
But as soon as he didn't give him any time to like, if your thing was, okay, you think there's something going on with Joe, he's got some mental issues, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And your plan, just be quiet. Let him stumble all over himself.
And, so to Joe Biden's credit, he didn't seem all that with it, which he might have just took an extra shot of baby's blood or whatever they do. You know,
some serum,
sacrificed a goat.
Some of that secret serum they got in the back.
Moonlight, yeah. But
I don't know.
yeah,
Shot of adrenaline.
I was surprised at how little he messed up, which also made me think maybe I am a little biased, and all that I'm seeing is just people from the right going, "Oh, he's messed up. He's got something wrong with him," and all I'm seeing is a bet. But that won't change my vote either way.
I don't care if he has a stutter or if he's got a mental problem. That doesn't his points are still what I think.
Yeah.
Which the point,
That's exactly what I was thinking. Is it's not? It still doesn't change my. I mean, he did a lot better than I thought he was. I thought Trump was just going to wipe the floor.
But think about that. We're giving Joe Biden a point because he didn't word vomit the whole time.
Well,
that's sad.
I thought it was going to be like Brock Lesnar fighting Jason in the octagon.
Right.
Like it was just like Jason stands no chance.
Yeah. And he was going to get him all twisted up with some words and facts and stuff. And then Joe just like fake a fall or something to reset.
Like, Betsy, I'm coming home.
It goes gray. Yeah. Like, we'll be back in 10 minutes once we can get Joe back turned upside down, turned upright. But
either way, it was dumb, ridiculous.
If
nothing you didn't watch it, you didn't miss. You missed literally nothing. I wasted an hour of my life.
I would have liked that 30 minutes back, even if it was get a cat nap.
Yeah.
Because I'm due for one now, boy. I'm up.
Yeah. So speaking of, how was your week?
Long. Yeah. Got the truck running full steam. We're back on campus.
Yeah.
With the students that are there.
That's awesome. I was thinking about this. Sorry. We never talk about our businesses anymore.
Yeah, we don't.
Cheese Louise. Great grilled cheese.
We're in a new truck.
New
on equipment. We got it like we like it.
Yeah.
We're full on. Monday started a full on schedule.
Looking good.
We hadn't had a full on schedule since February.
Yeah.
And it shows.
Yeah. Really?
With me, not with the truck. We're running great. We got good times on everything. We're quick. We're fast. We're hospitable.
Mm-hmm.
Food tastes good. Look good. We got some good photos.
You're just not used to it.
Boy.
And it's wearing you.
I don't even know. I can't even remember what the inside of my house looks like. Definitely not my bedroom.
Yeah.
I don't know what my pillow feels like. But it's good. It's a good problem to have that I got a lot of work to do. So I'm happy, but I'm sleepy. I'm tired.
If you're in Tuscaloosa, go to @CheeseLouise.
@CheeseLouise.
On Instagram.
At Cheese Louise Tuscaloosa.
On Instagram.
And Facebook.
And he's got a schedule up, so go check him out.
We put the schedule up every day. My wife does a great job with the social media. She puts up some nice pictures, some nice little posts.
Yeah.
We post on the story heavy. It's all good. We got not contests, but we got
giveaways?
Yep. We got those coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
then
it's good with that.
There's other stuff that's been keeping you up too.
Boy, if working 24/7 for a week straight doesn't get you, having a 15-month-old daughter with a double ear infection that'll get you. So she went to the doc yesterday and we got the prescriptions this morning, which if you're going...
Did she get some hydrochloroquine?
No. She got some amoxicillin, bubblegum flavored.
I just
got
assumed
me a pop of it.
Hydroxychloroquine was the answer for everything
it's
now.
It's a fix-all, supposedly.
Yeah.
But no. So, took her to the doctor. We thought it was teething because she's in the middle of just teeth sprouting out everywhere. Yeah. And, of course, that hurts like a mug. So, we thought it was just maybe she's getting two at the same time, and so she's hurting double.
Yeah.
So, we thought that was it. And then she got a runny nose. And we're like, man, she's yanking on her ears. But she does that when she's in pain anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So like, man, it's probably just teeth. And then she didn't sleep a wink 2 nights ago at all. Every 30 minutes, she's up squalling.
Dang.
So yesterday, my wife called the doc. Doc said, just swing by. And it was close to closing time, but it said swing by and I'll check her out. Double ear infection. We'll call in a script.
Dang. Only thing that's worse than a double ear infection is a triple ear infection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it runs over into somebody else too. But it's not contagious. She doesn't have COVID. She's got a double ear infection. So
did they try and push COVID on y'all for a second?
No.
Okay.
She checked him out in the parking lot. She
Really?
didn't go in. He brought his stuff out.
That's good.
Yeah. Until, hey, that's awesome. All right, we're going to get you some amoxicillin. We'll get you some over-the-counter Motrin. You can go pick it up. When to pick it up? Oh, it was after hours. You can't get that today.
Yeah.
All right. And then the person said, well, maybe you can call the on-call nurse and she can run a script. Mm-hmm. Okay. Call on-call nurse. Well, she's not, I can't do a prescription, like on-call after-hours prescription. Then what are you there for? And it turns
just to say go to the ER.
The on-call nurse is there for emergencies.
Yeah, which she would just say
at the
go
hospital.
to the ER. Yeah.
So somebody's paying you to play solitaire on your phone, I guess, at night. I don't know what. But we got it this morning. Got it in her, so she's doing a little better.
Yeah. Speaking of medical problems, you busted your chin open too?
Yeah, Sunday night. Doing a small group, young families with young children, little just community fun, get to know other couples. Playing, it's like can jam. You ever played that? But instead of the can, it's a pole sticks in the ground. And it has a platform on the top. It's got a bottle on it. Mm-hmm. And we played it at something for Peyton. I don't remember when they were getting married or something. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's one of them backyard games. You play with a Frisbee, 2-on-2. It's like cornhole. You throw the Frisbee. If you hit the pole, it's going to knock the bottle over. If the bottle hits the ground, it's 2 points for the person that threw it. And if the Frisbee hits the ground, it's a point. So one person, if me and you're on a team, the pole with the bottle, excuse me, is in between us.
Yeah.
So I was going for the pole, or I was going for the bottle. And it's got a stake in, like a tent stake at the bottom that sticks into the ground. So the pole's sturdy. It hits the pole like you're supposed to. Bottle goes. I'm going to grab the bottle around the pole like this. This will be perfect, actually. Imagine this is a straight pole with a stake in the ground with a plastic platform on the top. I go to get the bottle. The pole is falling this way because it got hit by the Frisbee. And it's still staked into the ground, and I just ram my chin on the top, trying to go for the bottle.
Yeah.
Knock my jaw out of line. My teeth didn't line up for 2 days, and it jammed up in my ears and hurt. Oh, my. And then I was bleeding. I got it on my shirt. I was like, Jesus Christ. So I was trying to holding the baby, throwing a Frisbee with paper towels up under my chin. And I just, jaws killing me.
Yeah. You know
better than that.
You know what would have helped with that?
What?
Some 4x4s and some tape. Could have took care of it.
Could have. I don't think I needed a bunch of 4x4s, but paper towel took care of it. But I was bleeding.
4x4s and some tape would have took care of that.
I'm too old to be getting hurt.
Hey, I understand.
Playing a game?
I understand.
A game. It's plastic and a Frisbee. You don't get hurt.
You're fragile.
I'm old.
I know, which means you're fragile.
It was rough.
Speaking of being
How's your
old,
week?
So this is something I hadn't told you this yet.
All right.
I started back doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu this week.
Back?
Yeah, I did it like 10 years ago.
Okay.
When I was in college. I did it for about 6 months,
You doing
7
some
months.
rolling?
Loved it. Yeah.
Where at?
It's a place here in town called Cobra Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Cobra Kai?
Cobra Kai.
Karate?
No, Brazilian. And so there's a
You got your
shout
gi?
out. It should come in Monday.
You got a gi though?
Yeah, you're required to have one.
What belt you got?
White.
I don't know. There's only like 4 for BJJ. Though.
Yeah, but when you start out, you're at white. But yeah. So
You getting tied up in knots?
yeah, I used to feel like maybe I was a little good at it back in the day, and then
10 years ago was a long.
it was, and
We didn't even know it existed 10 years ago.
we did probably 30 or 40 minutes worth of like learning new moves, and then 15 minutes of rolling.
Getting your butt
And
whooped.
I almost threw up. I had to sit there after 3 rounds. Everybody else kept going after 3 rounds, but I sat there. I was just like, guys,
if I move, children?
If I move, I'm gonna throw it. Nah, they're like college kids, so they're spry. they're getting around me pretty easy.
Man.
But
cool.
They're all bigger than me too. So one guy just literally laid on top of me, and I was like, I tap. I'm done.
Of course you did.
I'm done. I can't.
Yeah.
You're too big, bro.
Dang.
So yeah, I've been doing that. Shout out Cobra Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu here in town. Really good organization off 15th Street. The thing that I liked about it is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu only place. Cool. And so you've got other places in town like Bailey's Taekwondo or something. You see all the car tags all over the place. They do some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but that's not their thing. Their thing is Taekwondo or karate or whatever.
But they got a guy.
They got a guy who can do it. But this guy, he's a really good teacher.
Cool.
So did that. Also, my wife, who's you're right there. Oh, okay. Okay. My wife, who's extremely hot, no doubt about that. She doesn't need to lose any weight, but she feels like she needs to lose weight. She's on a little diet. And so she's posting Post-it notes all over the house that are like, no sugar, don't touch this. Encouragement for her, but it's discouragement for me because every time I open up the cabinet and I want to get some...
You're reaching past all these Post-it notes.
Yeah, I'm reaching past these motivational statements about not eating stuff. And so what I decided to do is she hadn't seen this yet, so she'll be in for an awakening today when she gets home. So there's one on the snack. There's 2 on the snacks. One says say no. I put say yum.
Got you.
One says no sugar, and then I wrote sugar being bad for you is a false narrative thought up by big vegetable companies. Don't give in.
Big veg.
Big veg. So then says don't touch sugar on the inside of the kitchen fridge, and I said sugar yearns for your touch.
Oh.
Then at the water fountain it says drink this instead, and then I said don't drink, it's poison. So just trying to make myself feel better about my choices.
Yeah. Hopefully she won't listen to those.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad if she comes back in a month and she's mad because she's bought in now that Big Vegetable is
Big Vegetable's got a hold of you.
Got a hold of her.
Got a hold of her, yeah.
So yeah,
false narratives, man.
Them false narratives will get you every time.
Every time.
So with that being said, we're gonna move on to the main event because that's really all that I had going on.
That's all I got going on
in my life this week, other than just trying to live. Now that I feel all beat up by some. Man, I got a freaking cramp so bad yesterday.
Sure.
God.
Do you go? How often do you go?
I'm gonna try and go every day that I'm off work. I'm gonna try and go
4 or 5 days a week.
4 or 5 days a week. It just depends on. They've got like a.
I ain't yawning at you.
No. I know you're tired. They got a lunchtime class, so I'm gonna try and go to that one.
Yeah.
Just like 12 to 1, real easy. Get in, get out. They've got one at 5:30 in the morning, which I probably will never see. And then they got a night class, which I got a family, so that's hard. But anyways, college matchups.
That's the same alert as the.
I know. What was the Fox News alert? That's what I was going for earlier. Where it's just like
you did the ESPN one every time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's really
this isn't politics.
Yeah, this is not politics.
Yeah.
Unless you.
We do some voting. But
yeah, we do voting. So, this week's college football mascot deathmatch. And if we didn't explain it well enough the first time, you've got college mascots pretty much if they were in an octagon or if they were on the football field still.
All right.
Just put them on the football field. One-on-one football field. Fight to the death.
You have what your mascot has.
You have what your mascot has. We had somebody call in and wanted to chime in on what they thought about last week.
All right.
So, I'm going to play this.
Do we know this person?
I know this person. You don't know this person. His name's Jonathan Eslick. we were roommates out in Oklahoma.
All right.
But so this is what he had to say.
Hey guys, big fan of the show. I've been listening to the podcast from the very beginning, and I love it. I love what you're doing overall, but I really love the mascot bracket. Last week, when you were going back and forth, there were certain ones that I agreed with each of you. Lee, I appreciated your knowledge of the Golden Eagle and how it doesn't live here, and also felt like maybe the Hoosiers got a little bit of a bad shake, but there's one in particular that I think was just...
Oh,
man.
Just because my phone blacked.
Cut him off.
God. All right.
And ones that I agreed with each of you, and also felt like maybe the Hoosiers got a little bit of a bad shake, but there's one in particular that I think was just egregious, and it was LSU and Arizona State. Lee, you can't imbue a Tiger with off-brand voodoo powers from Baton Rouge, not even New Orleans, to cancel out all the power of the devil, and then reduce the devil himself to just some guy, and then on top of that, project your own inability to use a trident when in fighting this tiger. That's ridiculous. He's been practicing his trident skills since the beginning of time, and certainly could defeat the tiger.
Biblical,
I think it's just bad luck that you lost both tigers right away. Probably should have made your bracket a little better. That's all.
I don't disagree.
Really love it. Thank you guys. Have a good day.
Shout out Jonathan Eslick.
He's
Great commentary.
He has a nice Midwest accent.
He's from Arkansas originally.
Jonathan, I don't disagree with you. I'm man enough to admit when I'm wrong. He's not a voodoo tiger. He's just an LSU tiger.
Yeah, just from Baton Rouge.
He just happened.
He's pretty much a swamp tiger.
He's a tiger.
Yeah.
He's not even a swamp tiger. We can't add attributes to mascots when they're not due. So that you're right. You're right.
Either way,
so he was who did we vote on?
it was
I know it was Arizona State LSU.
Yeah.
Who did we pick?
we ended up picking LSU because you said we wouldn't have any Tigers, which was not true because now we got Clemson coming up. But
not for long.
I mean, can we amend?
No.
So it's just
If you have a bad game in the tournament, you don't get to go back.
bad game. Well, now, so this
The
week
officiating ruined it for
this
LSU.
week,
For Arizona State.
for Arizona State. Arizona State got screwed last week, is what we're saying.
I was, even if it's no vote.
So a tiger versus the devil, because you can't take the devil's powers away from him.
All right, I was wrong. Sorry, Arizona State.
Arizona State.
Sorry. I will not apologize to the devil, though. So
I don't think anybody expects an apology for the devil, but
I'll admit when I'm wrong or when I didn't think something clearly through. But
also we had somebody who hoped that maybe we would add a new mascot to the rankings. Presbyterian College Blue Hose, which is
hose like water hose or whores?
Neither. It's actually like a Scottish
Or like a garden
Highlander.
hoe.
I don't know how hose got from that to that,
Now, I bet you a Scottish Highlander would make it pretty far.
but he'd make it pretty far, I would imagine. So we might look at that coming up.
If
in the
somebody
rankings.
drops out,
If somebody drops,
We'll
if
add 'em
somebody
in.
drops out,
somebody gets hurt.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
Okay. Thank you, Jonathan. That was a good point.
yeah, thank you, Jonathan Clay, who was the one who said Presbyterian College Blue Hose. The
Blue Hose.
So we'll look into it.
They're an alternate.
We'll let the committee decide.
Perfectly fine with them being the first up for an alternate.
But this week,
Let's
which
hit
is
these
different
8.
from last week, is we have we had a popular vote as well.
We also added the swing vote.
The swing vote. So if we have a disagreement, we'll tell what the vote is every time.
Anyway.
Okay. But it will be a swing vote. So
all right. So what's the first one?
the first matchup is Clemson versus Iowa State.
And that's the Clemson Tigers
Clemson Tigers.
versus the Iowa State Cyclones.
No. They're Cardinals.
They're the Cyclones.
They're Cardinals.
They're the Iowa State Cyclones. Their mascot is a cardinal.
Okay. So their mascot is a cardinal.
Yeah.
So we've got Iowa State, which is a cardinal, versus Clemson Tiger. So
Which, man, see, that's where the double mascots will mess you up.
this is the most LSD'd up tiger I've ever seen in my life.
He looks pretty strung up.
Those pupils are extremely dilated.
So he's easily taking out a cardinal.
He's easily taken. There's no doubt in my mind.
They are the Iowa State Cyclones, but we're going by what we got.
Yeah, there's
And-
nothing on his on the mascot's uniform that says Cyclones, which will play into something a little bit different later. It just says Iowa State. He's a Cardinal.
All right, he's out then. That was easy.
The popular vote said Clemson. So 64% voted for Clemson.
That if we're going
36%
straight
said
off
Iowa
of a
State.
Tiger versus a Cardinal, it should be 100%, but that's fine.
Yeah, I'm not sure that some people didn't understand
Well-
how this was doing, and then maybe they said Iowa State's football team could beat Clemson, which is false either way. But that's what happened.
I will say, if you just type in Iowa State, the thing that comes up is Cyclones. And I will tell you now, a Cyclone's taking a Tiger out in a minute.
But
So
the
that might be
mascot-
where some of that is.
that might be.
Yeah.
So the next matchup is going to be
The University of Colorado,
University of Colorado
the Buffaloes
versus Oregon.
the Ducks.
Oregon Ducks, which we had somebody comment on this as well and said, I want to see that duck get mauled by a buffalo.
Well, it would take 2 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely.
You could have the most Nike decked out duck in the world.
Yeah.
Buffaloes running right over the top.
Yeah, it don't matter how good your Nike Fly Vent shoes are.
It's Colorado.
Colorado, which was 77% of the vote for
So
popular
that's
vote,
right.
and then 23% was for Oregon. Still not sure why some people voted
Yeah.
for a duck,
They've
but
got a vendetta against buffaloes, I guess.
I guess so. Maybe a buffalo killed their family.
Maybe.
They're Indians,
Maybe Native Americans.
Native Americans,
Goodness
Native
gracious.
American Indians.
Gonna get us shut
Can I say
down.
that?
Sure.
Native American Indians.
That'd be saying an African American black guy, but that's fine.
Okay, that's fine.
All right.
I'll take it.
Cool.
As long as I can still say Indians.
Number 3.
Third matchup, we have Nebraska Huskers versus the Florida Gators.
Yeah.
Gator. In my opinion, Gator.
So I went Cornhusker.
I mean, you going Cornhusker?
You ever seen, hey, that guy means business.
He does.
He's not some University of New York artist. He's a Nebraska Cornhusker.
Husker. He husks corn.
That's that farm strength.
Granted, he's got farm strength. He's from Nebraska. Mm-hmm. How many
Not a lot of gators.
Not a lot of gators.
So it'd
he
be-
doesn't know how to handle a gator.
True.
He might have seen a TV show once where they jumped on
Unless
his
they
back.
got like a Tiger King, but for reptiles.
Yeah, but they didn't specify that.
You're right.
In a matchup.
We've got what we got.
And so,
And
Florida
it's
Gators
a
got-
fight to the death.
Yeah, fight to the death. I think this swayed your vote a little bit.
Well, if you've ever seen the golf documentary Happy Gilmore,
Happy Gilmore.
he takes that gator out, just chokes it to death.
Yeah, but he also had a vendetta against that gator because it stole his trainer's hand.
Yeah, it was historically accurate, but they probably were a little loose with the gator fight.
Yeah. Also, Happy Gilmore, who grew up in that area,
Yeah.
has seen a gator or two.
Playing
A Husker, never seen a gator in his
All right.
life.
Okay.
So,
Doesn't
popular
matter what I
vote-
think because the popular vote swings
Popular
at the gator.
vote said Florida Gators 91%.
Somebody agrees with me.
Nebraska Huskers was 9%.
Yeah.
So
Somebody thought the same way I did.
next is Miami Hurricanes versus Purdue
The Boilermakers.
Boilermakers.
So it's basically
a tradesman,
a factory worker.
a factory worker. versus a
Because
duck.
a Boilermaker were the people that either made the like iron ore boilers or worked in an iron or a steel iron,
which is still a
coal
pretty
factory.
tough person, but
Not against a tornado,
not against a hurricane.
a hurricane.
Yeah.
And
So,
if it's fight to the death, how you going to kill a hurricane?
you can't.
How's anything going to kill a hurricane?
Well, so
It's a good point.
here's the thing, though.
Thank
here's
you,
the
Lee.
thing.
That was a
Hold
good
on.
point.
Hold on. So Purdue, where's Purdue located?
North, mid-north, I think. I don't know.
How strong is that hurricane by the time it gets to them? Because a hurricane can't go from
It wouldn't get up there.
water. It can't jump and then it can't take a plane to get to the fight.
We can bring the devil to a fight, but not a hurricane.
Well, yeah, the devil is a
What if
person.
what if the matchup is in Gainesville?
where's it at? That's the question. Who's the home team?
Look, why did I say Gainesville? That was for Florida.
Yeah.
Miami.
If it's in Miami, hurricane's got
If
a
it's
pretty good
anywhere
shot.
where hurricanes could get,
Yeah.
and since this is sanctioned and scheduled and there's a venue,
Well, also, if you're talking about fighting to the death, if the Boilermaker can post up in a factory somewhere
well,
and
but
wait
they're
for
in
the
an
hurricane
octagon,
to
aren't they?
pass,
Hadn't we done octagon?
you can't put a hurricane in an octagon.
It'd be hard to put a tiger and the devil in an octagon
Well,
too, but
we're putting them in a football field, remember?
it's Miami. A hurricane's beating a Boilermaker, in my opinion.
It depends on where the matchup's at, honestly. In my opinion, it depends on where the matchup is. Which,
No,
where
I
did
agree
we
with you.
have,
I'll give you that.
Where did we have it on the
Who's the home team?
yeah, who's the home team in the bracket?
I can find out real quick for you.
There you go.
Miami.
Miami's the home team.
All right.
It's
Miami.
a hurricane.
Okay.
Hurricane.
What did the people say?
The people said it was Miami 71%, Purdue 29%.
So Miami makes it through.
Miami makes it through. That's gonna be a tough fight for anybody.
It'll be all about who's the home team.
Yeah.
If Miami's got to travel, they don't.
Well, it depends on where they have to travel to.
True. No,
If they're traveling to Florida State, not that far.
Clemson.
Come right off the coast.
Yeah. Okay.
So the next matchup is going to be Texas A&M Lassie versus.
Oh no, their mascot's an Aggie. It's a cowboy.
If you type in Texas A&M Mascot, there ain't no Aggie that they've got in a big uniform.
You'll find a cowboy.
But it's Lassie. You type in Texas A&M
Still,
Mascot.
okay, so
Lassie versus.
/ cowboy versus a golden gopher. I'm
Yeah.
still taking A&M.
I am as well, and so did the people.
All right.
The people said Lassie wins by 77%. Lassie 23%. Gopher.
Okay. All right. So A&M's through.
Yep. Next we have the UNC Rams.
Well, there's
versus-
the Tar Heels, but their mascot is a ram.
Is a Ram. Okay.
All right.
We're going mascots.
I know we
Don't
are.
We're not saying Alabama Crimson Tide and then all of a
Versus?
sudden versus the Baylor Bears, which has a real bear on campus. Baylor has a real bear.
Bear all day?
Versus UNC Rams.
Is it a brown bear?
It is brown.
Then it's.
I don't know if it is a brown bear.
it's eating a
but the
ram
color of it is brown.
It's eating a ram up in a minute.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And everybody agrees Baylor Bears 82%, UNC Rams 18%.
Who are these outliers?
I don't know, but there hasn't been a 100% matchup throughout the popular vote that was
Which
not
I like.
100%.
I like that actually.
Yeah. So next we have Oregon Beavers.
No.
Wait.
Kentucky Wildcats.
Yeah.
Versus the Oregon State Beavers.
Okay.
Oregon is Ducks.
Yeah. Oregon State Beavers versus, I couldn't type all that on
Got
the,
you. Wildcat versus a Beaver.
Wildcat versus Beaver. And a Wildcat from Kentucky.
Yeah.
Probably
That's a pretty
probably
hard
had his fair
Wildcat.
share of moonshine. Probably knows how to run some moonshine.
No, we don't know. But
It's from Kentucky.
okay.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying.
What did you say?
I said Kentucky.
Yeah.
And so did the people.
Now, if that
Kentucky
beaver sneaks up
Wildcats.
on you and tears that Achilles tendon with them teeth,
I still think
it's
though,
hard to creep up on a wildcat.
It's hard to
with
creep
that
up
big
on a
tail you got
wildcat.
sliding.
Also, even if you do get a good shot at it, it's swiveling around,
Yeah.
gonna bite you.
Wildcat knows what to do with a beaver.
Absolutely.
All right.
They've seen a couple beavers before.
All right, this is the last one we got this time.
Last matchup, which is the most ridiculous matchup
Oh, it's easy.
so far.
This is
You
a-
got the West Virginia Mountaineers versus the Virginia Tech
Hokies. Hokies, which is a turkey. So pretty much it's an everyday thing for West Virginia.
Oh yeah,
That's a daily.
yeah.
That's just getting breakfast.
Especially if you see this guy.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's mean. Got him a big old musket.
big old Daniel Boone.
You think
cap.
he hadn't killed his share of turkeys?
Oh, he's
with
killed a
ease?
lot of turkeys.
With ease.
A lot of turkeys.
All he's got to look out for is the spurs,
But he's got that musket. He's far enough away.
and he's got good leather pants on too.
Even if turkey sneaks up on him,
Yeah.
he just butt him with the butt of that rifle.
Yeah, he's swinging that thing like a baseball bat.
Yeah.
So obviously,
West Virginia.
yeah.
And the people agreed for the most part. 89% Mountaineers,
I like it.
11% Virginia. I still don't know who in the heck or why in the heck somebody would think a turkey could beat up. Now, if the turkey was the size of a grown man,
Yeah.
does that change anything? No.
It might,
No.
but no.
You shoot it
Yeah.
with your shot.
Somebody probably had some Mountaineers kill their family, and they just can't.
They just can't come to terms with
Yeah.
it.
That was good.
Yeah.
So we've got our winners
From this week.
So that's the second. If you can visualize what a March Madness basketball tournament bracket looks like, there's the 4 divisions. We've done half of the first round of. We've done half of the divisions. We've done the first round for half.
Yeah.
So we're halfway through the first matchups. 2 more weeks of those, and then
It wouldn't be semifinals.
I think it's if you went from 16 down to 8, it's still 32 teams left after we do the first 4.
And we're doing each conference from that bracket, right? So
What do you mean?
the final 4 will be from each one. It'll be one from each each
right.
one
That's
of the
how, that's why
brackets.
it's set up like that.
Okay.
So the winner of each division is in the final 4.
Yeah. And so once we get through the first
4 big rounds.
4 big rounds, then we'll do 2 at a time.
Yeah.
Because then that would equal up to 8 again,
Yeah.
8 matchups again.
And then we'll be down to the Sweet 16. Yep. Sweet 16. Then we'll do 8 again down to the Elite 8, and we'll get down to the Final 4, and then we'll do the Final 4 and the championship in the same go.
we might not be able to, because we're still got to have the popular vote.
Then we won't. Then we'll
Yeah.
do it. We're pretty much once we get through all the big 64 first ones, it'll be a whole round.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Because we'll have to
For
put
the
the
most part.
matchups
Yeah.
every week.
We'll make it work.
into
We'll
the-
figure it out.
Yeah.
It's not that hard to figure out.
No, it's not that hard.
No.
But this week was extremely easy. There weren't a whole lot of.
Not a lot of close ones.
No.
Yeah.
The Miami one was the only one that I kinda
Yeah.
but Miami
The
being
location
the
the location was important, and we'll keep that in consideration going forward for sure.
And so when I envision a Hurricane going up against, we'll say, a Boilermaker, that Hurricane is coming from off the coast. The Boilermaker is in the stadium.
I want to say it's in Indiana. That's where Purdue is,
Okay,
but I
Purdue.
don't know.
Well, so either way, guys in the stadium at Miami because it was a home game. The Hurricane comes from off the coast, comes into the stadium,
Yeah.
and then takes 8 hours to go past the stadium.
A lot of heavy rain and wind.
A lot of heavy rain and wind, a lot of stuff in that stadium that can get dismantled and hit a Boilermaker in the head.
Yeah.
So, and he's got to stay on the field the whole time.
Now he's got a hard hat on.
He does.
We've
but
already decided.
I know.
It's-
I'm
It's written in stone.
going
yeah.
back through. So if you got a problem with any of the matchups last week, we're also going to put the matchups for next week on our Instagram at
Vote
the
again.
first of the week.
Yeah.
So you can vote again. Tell us.
And your vote counts.
Yeah.
You're the swing vote.
Yeah. This week it didn't matter much because most of the matchups were pretty easy.
Yeah.
But next week that might not be the case.
Yeah.
So you'll have the ability to vote. Also, call in, text in, tell us what you think about the matchups. Tell us if there's something that's just like overly like, oh, this matchup's ridiculous or whatever. You can do that at 205-523-5934.
Cool.
So,
you ready for a little average American?
Yeah, we hadn't had an average American in a couple weeks.
We hadn't. The bracket took up a lot of points, a lot of time.
It did.
But you ready?
Yeah. So, if you're just listening for the first time.
Yeah, so average American is the thing we're going to do. Hopefully every episode, maybe not, but we'll have them going.
I'm an old man, bro.
Cobra Kai got you.
It did.
It's biting back. So average American is, since we are the aggressively medium podcast, we consider ourselves just run-of-the-mill, middle-of-the-road.
Average Americans.
Average Americans. So with that, this is where we break out some funny, intriguing, interesting, some unbelievable statistics about average Americans per day, per month, and per year.
Yeah.
So I've got 3 for you.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think the average American spends on fast food per day?
Average American per day.
Yeah, per day.
An American or a family?
And all I had was the average American.
Average American per day. $10.
Ooh, $9.36.
That's because I was thinking one meal.
Yep.
And then maybe some little snack or something.
Extra drink, little milkshake.
Yeah, give me a
$9.36.
So I was close.
That was good.
That's not completely unbelievable.
Yeah.
I spent 7 something
Right.
earlier on fast food,
Right.
so that's one meal.
Yeah, and that's per day.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that you would think that
It's a good business to
over
get
the
into.
course of time, somebody in a year.
Think about
would
how many old people don't ever eat fast food.
Think about how many. I mean, It is slightly.
I don't spend $9.36 a day on fast food.
But so that I think that would be you take what you spend on fast food in a year, and then average that by 365.
Yeah,
which would be
that's how you get your daily average.
And so some days you're going to eat more, some
Right.
days you're not going to eat. So averaging out, it's still a little crazy that it's $10 a day.
Do you think it's high or low?
I think it's high. I think
Yeah.
it would be whatever one meal. I mean, even just one meal.
But think about your buddy with 4 kids and a wife.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
$50 at fast food, at like Chick-fil-A or something.
Yeah.
So if you think about it like that, you ready for the month one?
Yeah.
How many gallons of sweat do you think an average American sweats in a month?
You or me?
Average American.
You're
so
a
whoever
sweaty
be
guy.
sitting right here.
You're a sweaty guy.
Yeah? What do you think?
Gallons of sweat in a month.
Gallons of sweat.
So you sweat more when you're asleep.
Yes.
So you got like 8 hours a day where you're sweating.
Now think about your mattress.
Oh yeah.
Now be grossed out and not think about it anymore.
Well, no, we have a rainbow vacuum, so I'm not grossed out by my mattress.
Good
Also,
for
if you want a rainbow vacuum, hit us up because we get like $1,000 if we sell one more.
nice little Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, I'm fine with
Josh
it.
is in on it.
I'm gonna hold my tongue.
Yeah. Hold your tongue. You're probably not allowed to talk about it like that.
First rule of Rainbow Fight Club is
You
don't talk about
it.
Rainbow Fight
Unless
Club.
you're trying to get your friends to do a thing and
Yeah.
then that's all you talk about.
Yeah.
What do you think? Gallons a
Gallons.
month?
3?
45.
45? Sheesh.
So
I
you're
don't sweat enough.
doing like a gallon and a half a day. The average American.
I don't sweat enough.
You ain't working hard.
I guess not.
But I'm also putting about 450 gallons out
A day.
a month. So that's where you get your
You
average.
even this out.
It was just shocking to me to read when I found that on the internet. 45 gallons a month.
Yeah.
So it's a gallon and a half a day, pretty much.
Yeah. Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just
Not for me. I've already sweat that.
Maybe I'm just sweating
sitting
so
here.
much more in my sleep than I think.
Yeah. Or you don't realize how heavy
yeah.
just like a normal sweat is
because it
walking somewhere.
evaporates.
Right.
You sweat, it evaporates. You sweat,
If
it
you
evaporates.
collected it,
yeah.
you're getting 45 a month.
If your skin never absorbed it, or
Your clothes absorb it and dry off,
or just the wind, if it just dripped into a vat
it
as you
stayed
sweat,
like a colostomy bag for
Yeah.
sweat. 45
you'd have to
gallons
change that
a month.
colostomy bag out quite a bit.
Every day, every couple of hours.
Anyways,
Here's the yearly
Okay.
annual average American. What do you think the annual average household income for a year is? And this is household, so this could be
Yeah.
two job family, husband and wife works.
90.
Ooh, no,
No,
$63,179
63.
a year
63.
annual household income.
Is that pre-tax or after tax?
Well, I don't know. That's pre-tax.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's not that much.
We wouldn't be able. We would be in the.
Y'all be in the red
Would be
or the
be
black,
screwed.
whichever. Yeah, that's the average though. But you also got to think.
There's a lot of people who don't have much.
Yeah,
Dang.
but in the grand scheme, they've got more than 99% of the planet.
Yeah. If you make over, was it $30,000 in a year?
It's less than that.
You're in the top 1% of the entire
Yeah.
world.
If you move
something.
it over to U.S. dollars, most people make less than $5 a day.
Oh yeah,
In the world.
yeah,
In the world.
Yeah.
So that,
Makes you think.
but dude, honestly,
You got it pretty good.
dude, if Anna and I right now were bringing in $63K a year, I don't know what I'd do with all that money. Which I know it's not that much.
That's really.
That's like a pretty good salary for a person.
Yeah.
That's a good enough one. But what we've been running off the past couple of years with starting the business and everything, and it to be a restaurant to boot, I'd be stuffing mattresses and stuff with money if we had that much. I'd be wiping my butt with dollar bills.
You always think that.
I know.
That's always
but
the thought. I mean, and because I'm sitting here going 63, we'd be out on the streets if we made 63.
yeah.
And so you always, and I remember I was talking the other day with Peyton about this. Remember, like when you got out of high school or college, you're like, man, if I could just make $30,000 a year,
Yeah. That's a fantastic
doing
starting
it.
wage.
I'd be throwing $100 bills out the window.
That's what I'm saying right now.
Yeah.
For the past 3 years,
about $60,000 though. That's what you're saying about $60,000.
Anna, if over the past 2.5 years, 3 years doing this food truck, living off, that's 3 times what I've been making.
$30,000, 3 times what you've been making?
No, 6. The average income, household income. That's 3 times what we've brought in for the past 3 years. And so to think, or half.
Okay.
So, but just to think of that,
Yeah.
we're debt free, paying a mortgage, current on our bills, own both of our vehicles that we paid off,
Well,
off of 30 a year.
the business helped a lot with the truck.
That
The
was
business
personal.
paid the truck
No,
off.
they didn't.
They didn't?
No,
Oh,
we
I
paid
didn't
it
know
off. It was a personal vehicle first.
Yeah.
I could have,
Yeah.
but the business couldn't have paid for it. Not for at the beginning.
Yeah.
But to think like we're in good shape, nothing great. We're not just rolling
Yeah.
in it, but we're putting money in retirement and savings and stuff off
It's
of
just-
half of that. If
it's-
I had $63,000,
You'd find something to spend it on.
right.
That's the thing.
So it's
is
almost a blessing.
You're always looking at, and that's what me and Peyton were talking about. Is like, man, if I could make 30 coming out of high school or college,
Yeah.
you're like, if I could, man, $30,000 is a lot of money.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, if I made $30,000 a year, I don't know what I'd do.
Welcome to my life.
Well,
But yeah, no,
yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, and you always, and like me and Meg were talking about it the other day. It was like, oh, if we could tip the scales a little bit and make this much more money a month, that would change everything.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a big number.
No.
I mean, if it wasn't a huge number, but and I think Pastor Chris did a message where, or maybe it was Andy Stanley talks about when you ask the average household how much more money, if they made X amount of dollars per year, how much happier they would be.
Right.
It's always like, I can't remember it was something that wasn't a huge life changing, and then you go up to the next level and it was like the exact same. Like, oh, if I could just make this much more money.
Right.
Nobody has ever, you never get to a point and you're like, I'm good.
Well, they've done studies for decades.
Yeah.
Extensive, deep studies that once you hit $150,000 a year, your mental quality of life, that's the cap. So, like, if you make $150,000 a year or $200,000 a year,
that's the happiest you'll ever be.
That your happiest or money. Once you get to 150,000, more money doesn't help your mental state. But like the difference between 100 and 150 is huge.
Yeah.
But then at 150, quality of life, other than things, is done.
Yeah.
But just think, if I was bringing in 100, I would never need anything ever again.
So
I get the idea
full
of
disclosure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bleep this part out on the podcast.
Yeah.
Household income before tax, we're at, but like what difference in the quality of life do either one of us have over the other one?
Right.
You know,
not
like,
a ton. Y'all's house is bigger.
Yeah, but I mean, we're also in, I would say a different type of neighborhood too,
right?
Where it's like our house value I would say probably be pretty similar.
It's
to
more,
but
was. Similar.
Yeah, it's very similar. I mean, as far as like vehicles go, we're not like blowing y'all out of the water with anything.
Not really.
Like a nice, Chevy.
Says the Tesla owner.
But it's not like
I've got that Ram truck.
Yeah, you've got a Ram truck, and your wife's
She's got an Equinox.
An Equinox, a newer, nicer.
2018 Equinox.
Exactly, mine's a 2018.
Yeah,
Tesla.
My truck's a 13.
The Equinox and the Tesla, when they came out, probably pretty similar in price range. Yeah. And my wife's got the Jeep Cherokee. So I mean, we're not far off from each other,
right?
And
we're pulling in, honestly, a little more than a quarter of what y'all are pulling in.
Yeah,
but I've been doing this for 3 years. I know how to live off of a third of yeah. So obviously, there's plenty of things that we wish we had more money to use.
Everybody does,
right?
And that's what we're getting at.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what side of the spectrum you're sitting on.
Yeah.
There's always more that you're like, oh, if I just, and so
that's why it's hard to start a business. Because a lot of people come from a career to start a business, and they drop from that to this, and don't know how to do this.
It would be tough for us.
Oh,
it'd be extremely tough.
It ain't no cakewalk. Pulling in what we pull in.
So if you're listening to this podcast, the takeaway for the episode is be content.
Oh my gosh,
be content with whatever you have. Because I mean, like we said, we're sitting on two opposite ends of the couch. We're at two varying degrees of income, but our lives aren't that different.
Similar upbringing for us and spouses too, as far as the gap between.
Absolutely.
And so
wherever you're sitting at, be content.
Yeah.
Breathe it in. Be content with where you're at,
and don't confuse content with complacent. Either.
No.
Content's in your mind.
Yeah, content is just being happy with.
It's a mindset,
not that overreaching. Like, oh, if I could just do this, or if I had this, I'd be so much better off, or I'd be so much happier, or whatever. And just breathe in life and be content.
Yep.
I mean, that's all there is to it.
Yep. because you're going to waste a lot of like energy in the season you're in.
Yeah.
Worrying about the next one or trying to get to the next one. Not that you shouldn't try and make more money. Obviously, that's a fine goal.
Yeah.
But
especially when it comes to you want to make more money to provide better for your family.
yeah.
But I've always said, whatever season you're in, be in that season.
Yeah.
Whether it's a season of, less or a season of more, or a season of heartbreak.
There's
or a
goods and
season
bads to all of it.
Yeah.
There's
but be
stuff
in
to
that
get.
season. Because if all you're doing, so when I was in Oklahoma, if there's anybody listening to this podcast that was with me in Oklahoma, I took a lot of what was going on in Oklahoma as I was so ready for the next season of life. I was like, I'm ready for this. It wasn't that I was ready for the internship to be over with or whatever, but I just kept looking at, because at the time I was engaged. So when I got back to Alabama, I was going to get married. I pretty much had a job waiting for me in Alabama.
Yeah.
And so I let so many of like the fun things that were going on and the fun stuff that was happening to blow right by me because I was too focused on what the next season was going to pertain.
Yep.
And so if you take anything away from this podcast, whatever season you're in, be in that season. Commit yourself fully to that season. Yeah. Because there's grief. There's seasons of grief, and you need to be in those seasons. Yeah. You don't need to let them pass you by. Because if you do, it's going to hit you later.
Right.
It's going to hit you hard.
You got to deal with it.
You got to deal with it.
I don't like saying this, but I think you know how we're all about like one-liners, especially with like sermons and messages and stuff. I think I came up with a good one.
Yeah.
That I've never heard anywhere else, and I wrote it down years ago, but it was enjoy the hallway.
Take a penny, leave a penny.
Yeah. Enjoy the hallway.
Yeah.
So if you're in your season, the hallway, and all you're thinking about is the door you just walked through, like, man, I wish I could go back to that. Yeah. Or you're just focused on the next door. Mm-hmm. You're wasting this.
Yeah.
Especially, and you're definitely not, if you're not giving it the attention it needs, you're definitely going to miss some details.
Yeah.
That could help you in the future.
Yeah.
In just so many stinking ways. But yeah.
And there's, I've talked with a lot of people about this too, about enjoying the season is, so my dad has got like a little farm where they live at. And I asked him one day, I said, what's the hardest part about this? And he was like, it's the waiting. Yeah. Because you plow your land, you put your seeds in the ground,
that's front end
you
work.
Water your seeds. So there's a ton of work on the front end.
Yeah.
And there's a ton of work when you're harvesting on the back end.
It ain't easy to maintain either.
But just to sit and wait and just hope. Because that's all you got at that point is when the seed's in the ground, you've plowed it, you've tilled it, you've prepared the land, you put the seed in. There's a lot of just like, I really hope that this comes through. Yeah. Because you don't know. When it's in the ground and there's no little sprigs coming up, there's no nothing, you don't know. You could have just done all that work
and
for
once
nothing.
You've done your part, you don't make it grow.
No.
It ain't up to you.
It ain't.
And so that makes it even more frustrating.
But, yeah.
But nothing worth a crap's easy to get.
Nope.
So.
Nope.
That's. Yeah.
But yeah, enjoy the season you're in.
Well, that's a nice little dog leg we had
It
off the average American.
Yeah.
Well, but. Well, what else we got?
That's all we got.
I'm about to say, my jaw just popped and it reminded me of the sound. Like, we talked about that, talked about the other thing.
Which, I mean, that's all, we're good as far as time goes. So. Yeah. Everybody, thanks for listening.
Yeah. This was episode, I don't even think we said at the beginning. This is episode 29.
Yeah.
Heck,
we're almost to 30.
Ooh, dirty 30.
This just goes downhill from here. Aggressively Medium podcast.
Yeah.
30.
Which
podcasts.
Pretty much was like 28 weeks ago.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
That seems like a long time. We've been doing this since March. Hadn't gotten any better.
I think we've gotten a little bit better.
I don't do this.
Yeah. We're not as much anyway.
Not as much.
But yeah, thanks for listening. We'll be back next week.
Vote on those matchups.
Vote on the matchups.
Y'all are important.
Let us know what you think about the matchups because you have the ability to. We'll play whatever it is on the podcast. We don't care.
Keep the cussing to a minimum, but we'll play
if you want. I don't care.
I
Just
care
be a
little.
little beeping for me later.
Oh yeah, we can beep it. But
yeah, thanks for listening, and we'll see y'all next week.
See y'all.